What is going on, YouTube and weight loss warriors? It's your boy C Dub, and I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to talk about diabetes, intermittent fasting, maybe even the keto diet, and I'm going to do it right after this. Hey guys, what's going on? This video is for Dennis. Dennis, turn it up in the comments. You've asked this question, so it took me some time, it took me some effort, it took me some energy, and I hope I help you out. So what we're going to talk about first is we're going to talk about diabetes, and then we're going to move on from there. With diabetes, guys, basically you have type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. And what's the difference between the two of them? We know that type 2 is much more common. Type 2 is starting to take a stranglehold on America and get us good, and it's really a devastating thing that's happening all over the place, and the numbers are just increasing. And then type 1 diabetes you're born with, and so it's an autoimmune problem. So type 1 diabetes is your body actually attacking the thing that makes the insulin, and your body cannot make enough insulin, so then when your blood sugar goes up, it doesn't have insulin to come in and counter it, and you can get into some serious trouble. Type 2 diabetes is on the opposite end of that same spectrum. So type 2 diabetes means your body is throwing so much insulin at it that the cells basically say, whoa, slow down, we don't want any more, back off of us. And because the cells react there, your pancreas makes more of it, eventually wearing your pancreas out. Your pancreas gets tired, it shuts back and says, whoa, I don't want to make any more insulin, and you get a problem there. So this is kind of where we're at in the situation. And if you're insulin resistant on the way to type 2 diabetes, your body's still throwing that insulin out. Your pancreas hasn't quite been like, let me stop. So the problem is and the question Dennis had is, how does that kind of react to fasting and everything else? And so before we get into all that stuff, I want to say that anything I say in this video was researched by me. I'm not a medical professional. I do not have a degree in medicine, and I have I'm not giving you any advice at all. What I am giving you is some talking points that you can take back to your physician. So if you have type 1 or type 2 diabetes, you can use some of the things I'm saying to sit down and have a rational conversation about how to treat you and where to go from there. And if you don't have either one of those things, you're insulin resistant, maybe this will get you to say, whoa, don't want to get to the diabetic part. And if not, I think it's just fascinating information, and thank you for watching and sticking with us through it. So basically, here's the deal. So fasting cannot be recommended really for either category. When we're talking about prolonged fasting, we're talking about long-term fasting. Probably not the best idea. If you want to do that kind of thing, you're going to have to sit down with your doctor and you're going to have to discuss that and figure out a medical way to treat it. I have no business telling you how to do that. A 16-8 method is probably the method to go if you're going to use intermittent fasting and doing this with monitoring your blood sugar levels at all times. And I don't know how to tell you to do that. You guys should have that research done on your own. So what do I know how to do? What I can tell you guys is this fascinating study that I looked at. It talks about the keto diet in type 2 diabetes. And there is one study out there that does keto in type 1, but I'm not even going to go there, guys. So the keto diet, it seems to be the way to go when we're talking about diabetes, guys. So if you are insulin resistant at a high level, or you already have type 2 diabetes, the keto diet, what the study I'm referring to, and I've got my notes right here, so I'm going to spell it for you. It's going to be linked at the bottom, but you're going to see me look at my phone a couple times. It was done by a company that's VIRAT, and they did the biggest study on type 2 diabetes, 6-month study on it, and how the ketogenic diet affects it. You're not going to get a bigger study than this one. So it was done by Dr. Hallberg, Hallberg. This is in Bro Science. This was really done. Not only was this done, but there are 3 or 4 other studies that I stumbled across that have similar results. So this is something that we can look at and say is something that is definitely worth checking out and understanding. So type 2 diabetes. They basically took over 400 patients. That's a bunch of patients. They either already had type 2 diabetes or they were insulin resistant. Every single one of them in this study. The average age of the patient, I believe, was 54 years old. The average age was 54. It was 66% female, and it was 34% male. So the average age was 54, and the average BMI was 41. The average starting weight was 267 pounds. So you can see all of them were obese. You can see that the average age was 54. So they're all middle-aged. More women than men, but all of them type 2 diabetics. So what they found was that in just a couple of weeks, I think the beginning was a 4-week process, that the average person in this study lost 12% of their body weight. One other thing to mention in this study is there's no calorie restrictions on this. They said eat whatever you want, but we're going to have you on this this only ketogenic type diet. So they ate whatever they wanted, and they lost 12% of their body weight over that period of time. So what makes that super interesting, more so than anything else, is they lost 1.3 on their A1C, guys. 1.3 on average, which is huge. So you want your A1C under a 6.5. So these people were able to pull that average closer to 6.5 in just a couple of weeks, in a month. So 12% of their body weight down, and their A1C down 1.3%. So what's interesting about this is that it didn't just stop there, because this study continued for 6 months. So in the 6-month period of time, they were able to reduce 56% of those people to normal A1Cs, and they were able to get those people off of at least one of their diabetic medication, guys. So we're talking about 56%. So, that's better than a coin flip, that if you go on the ketogenic diet in a 6-month period of time, your chances of getting off of at least some of your diabetic medicine, if not all of it, is definitely there. So there definitely seems to be a correlation between the ketogenic diet and type 2 diabetes. And there's science. It's not bro science. There's real studies and real stuff that have gone about it. So it's something you can talk to your doctor about. You can click on this the link down below and print it out and take it to your doctor if you've got the diabetes. But here's the thing, and I know it's something that in particular Dennis has asked me in the past, and he's often said to me, "Oh, you're so lucky because you can eat whatever you want." And he can't. He's a diabetic. And I'm going to assume he's a type 2 diabetic. I never asked him. If he's a type 1 diabetic, that's a whole different ballgame. Type 1 diabetics are rarely overweight because their body actually is doing the opposite. It's actually eating itself because of the diabetes, where type 2, it's storing the weight. So they're two different ends of the spectrum. So he's most likely type 2. So here's the thing, and this is what everybody needs to understand. You have to do a plan that works for you and your lifestyle. You saw that on my video yesterday, guys. You've got to figure it out for you. For me, yes, I eat what I want to eat when I want to eat it. I fast, every single day OMAD. I'm able to skip meals if I want to, and I'm able to maintain my weight. Guys, there's some people that do OMAD 6 days a week and eat whatever they want on one day, and they maintain their weight, or they still lose weight, or whatever the case is. If you're type 2 diabetic, you should look probably into the ketogenic diet, guys. It seems to be something that is helping. And Dennis, I understand you can't eat all the food you want, and I understand life isn't fair. But if I'm going to give you any bit of advice, it's to just forget about the carbohydrates right now. Forget about those foods that you love, like pizza and whatever else. You got to just throw them away, or figure out a way to make those same foods in the ketogenic diet way. I hope to one day have recipes for all you guys on what I eat on my OMAD meals and ketogenic versions of them and carnivore versions and gluten-free and all kinds of fun stuff that I'm working on. But right now I don't have that ready. But Dennis, my brother, good luck to you. But keto is the way to go. You were right the whole time. You're on the right path. You just have to grind it out. I do believe this study they did reduce 12% of their weight. They lost a lot of BMI over the 6 months, and they lost a little bit more weight over the 6 months. But guys, they didn't all get super skinny. And again, I think that, they say, well, you don't have to worry about your calories if you're fasting and if you're on a keto diet, guys. I always think you have to worry about it. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. Please, for the love of God, don't overdo it. Keep it in check. Have a little bit of whatever, but keep it in check. Stay on your keto in this situation and go. For everybody else out there, listen, if you're not insulin resistant on a high level where you're facing type 2 diabetes or you don't have type 2 diabetes, you can do it your way. Don't sweat it. That's what I do. It works out well for me. I will never go on the keto diet. Of course, I say that if I did develop insulin resistance type 2 diabetes, I'd probably jump back the other way. Guys, and there's no better reason for you to start intermittent fasting than if you have that type 2 diabetes to get it under control, that insulin resistance before it becomes type 2 diabetes. Don't wait until it's type 2 diabetes. Get going now. So I hope this video was helpful. I know it was a little bit long-winded, but guys, right here, it's going to be my face. Hit that subscribe button. Check out one of my videos. Bam, bam. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best, and I hope it was helpful. I'll check you on the next one. Peace.